Ida for not giving his ashes to my husband's children. My husband had been sick for a long time. I was his carer and was able to work from home to be there when he needed me. When we went to hospital I was his advocate. His children would call or stop by just to ask for money. I even gave up a works bonus to give it all to his daughter. We took £1,000 out of our limited savings to help the other with the understanding she would pay it back. We did not expect massive payments, just like £20 a month. My husband finally realized what they were doing and stopped giving them money. This was about 2 years before he passed. The girls stopped calling or coming by at all once the bank dried up. I could see how badly it affected him. At times he would just stare off into space and say he missed them. Both girls had changed their phone numbers and had moved from their home, so we had no way to get in. Numbers were the same. The landline was about 10 years old and the mobiles about 8 years. So they could have called anytime or stopped by, as we had been at that address for 14 years. My passed at the end of December. It was really unexpected as he was doing okay. I was absolutely hysterical about his death. And then I found out the coroner may wish to do an autopsy as it was unexpected. The time of year made a backlog of cases for the coroner, so we had to wait. It took me a week to even think of notifying his daughters. I realize I should have tried to reach out earlier, but I was not doing well with the loss. I remembered one of the daughters having a Facebook account, so I looked through and found her. I sent her the message, "Please call. Urgent." I got a call almost immediately and told her what had happened. About 20 minutes later there was frantic knocking on the door. The younger of his girls was out there spitting fire. It took me a week to tell them. She asked when the funeral was being held and we told her we didn't know but would be telling them the minute we found out. She accused me of lying about it and that I wouldn't let them know when their own father's funeral reel would be. A few days later I started get text messages with "I want this item," more than one. It was becoming ridiculous. I rounded up everything that had been theirs and gave it to them, plus more from the texts they asked for. It was funny, after 2 years of silence suddenly they wanted rings of his. I was finally able to arrange his funeral and a few days later his ashes were delivered to me. The final text I got from them was, "Can we have some of his ashes for remembrance jewelry?" I said no. I told them my husband had never even wanted me to notify them he had died, so I was going to give them any of his ashes. Ida for not giving them some of his ashes? Edited. I get that a lot of you are condemning me for the late notification of their father's death. I understand where you're coming from. What you have to understand is I got up to use the toilet at 3 a.m., went back to bed next to him and then woke up at 4:05 a.m. and he was gone. He had a DNR in place, so I couldn't even try to give him CPR. The doctor was called and I sat downstairs waiting for the results of the exam to verify his death, and I honestly thought the doctor was going to say, "I have arranged ambulance to rush him to hospital." Instead he said his condolences, called the police to stand guard over our bedroom till the coroner got there hours later. I was in such shock I sat in his favorite chair, for days, barely ate, and just stared at nothing. It took a week for my brain to even comprehend he was gone. Kept thinking he was just at hospital. I have learned since that the trauma of waking up next to him kind of shut my baton down to try and protect me from the pain, so I agree they should have been to D right away. But I was in no state to think rationally, and as soon as my brain started working I tried to find a way to contact them.